Selena fucking Gomez. Hey!
Hey girl,
Hi, I'm so happy to have you on the show.
I'm so happy to be on the show because you're killing it, girl.
Thank you so much. Gotten to talk to so many cool people and get so many like tips and just advice. And I think the common thread here is that everyone's process, like during pain and fear and anxiety, is like really unique and really different.
Right.
Um, and so everyone's ideas and how they kind of cope are so unique. So I'm excited to hear yours.
Yeah, I got a lot out of the people that you were talking to because it's just nice to hear what other people are doing. And a little bit of what you said, it's connecting to people. When I saw what you were doing, I've always been a fan of yours. I think you're one of the greatest singers ever. Um, And so I was so happy that I even got this opportunity to talk to you about um, some of the most incredible people, but also just what's going on. So yeah, what do you want to know?
Agreed. Okay, so what I kind of wanted to start was I'm just really happy that we did this through DM, and it was very sweet because you just sent a butterfly emoji, and that's enough. Like connecting with people and letting them know that you're there. A
Yeah.
butterfly emoji is totally enough. So, what advice would you give for someone that wants to reconnect with a person they haven't, been connected with in a while, and they feel like it's just a really good time to let people know that you care and people know that they're
Yeah.
appreciated. And so, would you go for the little things? Do you think writing down what you want to say in case they call you so you're ready? Like,
Yeah. Well, I've been writing a lot. I think that's been helping me process what's been going on. Um, And I had gone to treatment a few times for anxiety and for depression and for other stuff that I had been struggling with. And when I do meetings and stuff, a lot of it is connecting with people that maybe you haven't been the greatest to or that you may not have thought about. So I feel like there's been a lot of people I've gotten to do that with, not necessarily saying it was bad, but just saying, hey, I hope you're safe. Like, I hope you're doing okay. And that that on my side, I'm only sending you love. And I just want them to know that I see them.
Yes.
And so I think that's kind of something I've been doing, but I've missed my family. It's still really hard. I definitely just try to use the tools I've used when I've been in therapy, which is amazing.
Love it so
And
much.
literally, dialectical behavior therapy. I'm not sure if you've heard of that, but that's one thing that helps big time. And it's basically a book on how you process your emotions and why the actions go into, you know, what your thoughts turn into action. It's kind of like what you were talking about with ants and
Yeah.
how they completely and I visualize things so much, so it
Me
freaks
too.
me out. So I feel like there are moments where I just have to center myself and let the thoughts come in. Sometimes I'll write them down and then completely just like sit with what is it? What is the root of this? Why can't I get to the bottom of this? And it really helps me.
And I was talking to Carrie about this, and I think probably, whether it's us on a set or whether it's people watching that are in school or workplaces, we're so used to being connected in some way. And when that is like just kind of, it was just so abrupt. It just, all of a sudden we were locked down. And
Yeah.
there wasn't much time to, usually there is a process, I feel like. And usually, by being gentle with ourselves, you start making those little habits to create big changes.
Mhm.
And this wasn't a time where we had any warning to start kind of baby stepping ourselves to disconnect, and
Yeah.
stop relying on people. Felt very like immediate. And so I think that's probably where some of my anxiety came in, was just that I didn't really have time for my preparation. And I'm someone that, from being, I just like to prepare. I like to
Yeah, of
be very
course.
prepared. And that's a sense of control and safety. And not having that can be really terrifying.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of when I saw everything happening, I think I'm sorry. I think it's just really hard because I have grandparents, and um, seeing people not take it as seriously as they should is um, really hard for me, because I know there are people like the hospitals and everybody that are literally sacrificing their lives. And, one of the donations that I've made are to hospitals, and one of them is to Cedars-Sinai, because that's the hospital where I found out I had lupus, where I found out, well, I needed my kidney transplant. So I'm giving like a portion of all certain things, like from my merch, because it doesn't seem important, but just to give to them. And my biggest thing is like learning how to be okay being inside, and maybe taking walks and stuff, um, and watching things like this,
Yeah.
watching things that encourage me, and that hearing other people feeling the same way. So
I think
yeah,
it's really talking about mental health and self-care. I mean, you just kind of gave us some of those tips, but what's something that you can use to filter helpful thoughts versus hurtful thoughts? Because I know this is a time where the ants just totally want to attack our brain. And
yeah,
I think when things like this are happening, we love to be future telling. We love to be psychics, where we know what's going to happen, and we really
mhm.
don't know anything. And it can just give us anxiety. What do you use to keep yourself helpful?
Communicating with like women I respect. Like I have a few older women that I look up to that aren't in the industry. I call them, and I think talking through what it is you're feeling is extremely helpful.
Yeah.
And I think there's wisdom in all of this with women and with other people, and all of my friends as well will get on calls, or we'll just talk to each other. But sometimes I have to feel it, Miley. Sometimes I got to cry it out, and I've got to release it and just take a deep breath, and then remind myself, go back to my tools, which is, okay, where is this coming from? I
Yeah.
understand I'm a big empath, so I feel so much of what the world
Yeah.
is feeling. So maybe I need to take a step back from that, or whatever it is. But also just being there for other people actually helps me too.
I
Um,
agree. It gives
so
me so much light in this time just to be able to connect with people, like you said, people I respect and people that I love and want to hear their advice, but just to know people are there, and just to know that people
yeah.
are feeling the same way that I feel makes me feel less alone.